in this mini video, we are looking at frames. Now, I love frames. They're such a fun feature of Canva, and I just want to show you them. There's a lot more. About a year ago, Canva added hundreds of new frames. They are really fun and they make our graphics stand out. They make our images pop a little bit more if you can add them into a frame, so you don't just have that boring square look to your image. So I'm going to show you the frames, then I'm going to show you a fun little tutorial on how to use them. So first of all, I'm just going to go for maybe, I just move me out the way so I can get to create a design. I will go for a Facebook size post. So we could be creating something in Facebook, and I just want a blank template for this. You can obviously create a template. You can use a template here and then add a frame into it. That is up to you. But I just want to show you the basics of frames. So once we're in our template, we go over to the elements section, and from the elements section, we type in frames. It's a keyword, and you get all these amazing frames come up. And as mentioned, anything that has the white cloud, the blue skies, the green hills, you can add videos, images and color into. But these frames, they're different to grids. They're shaped. So you've got stars, you've got blobs, circles, squares, you've got Kodak type frames that you can add images into. So I'll scroll through some. You've got some like this one here that looks like it's been ripped in half. There's splodges. These are lovely. I'm going to select one of them and I'm going to show you something with them. If you keep scrolling, you've got ones with frames, there's lines over, and then you come to some fonts. Now, these have always been in Canva, these ones. They have added a lot more. So if you keep scrolling, you will find more and more different shapes, and then you'll start to see some different letters coming up. There are different style fonts now in Canva. So you've got ones with the serif on, you've got big chunky ones, these really odd ones here, it's really strange M. Now there's a lot in here. It takes a little bit of searching through because unfortunately they are no longer grouped together, but you can create some really lovely graphics with these. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to type in, I'm going to find some letters and I'm going to show you something. So if we just, I'm going to type just for ease because I've got M-U-M here. I've added in the elements that spells mum. So you can find letters to spell out your business name, your name, any word that you want, you can add them in. Now I added them all in at the same time rather than one at a time, resize. I just added them on top of each other. If I highlight the whole lot, I can then resize them together. So they are resized at the same time so that they stay the same size. If I click off of it, it ungroups them, and then I can just drag them out like this. Now, they're not level, so I want to use the position feature. So I can drag my cursor across the three elements. It momentarily groups them. Go over to position, and then there's a tidy up feature. And what it does is it aligns them and spaces them perfectly. It's still partly grouped because I've not clicked off it. So I can now wiggle the whole lot around and I can centralize them in my design. So you can do this with yours. If you are creating a word, add them all in together at the same time. And then you can use position feature and you can move them and resize them yourself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the background to a very dark color so they really stand out now. And then I'm going to go back to my elements section, and this is where you can start searching for your elements. So I'm going to go for gold oil. So I want something really flashy, really sparkly, and you'll get a lot of elements appear. Now you can divide them. You can choose photos only, you can choose graphics only, videos, audio, so you can search dependent on what you want to use. Now I want to use a photo because I want to drag it into my letters. Now there's lots of different types of gold shimmery foil images in here. So I'm going to pick one which looks a really good one. That's quite a nice shimmery one. And again, it's like the grids. You can just drag and drop them into your letters. And you end up, I'm going to make them a little bigger. And you end up with having this really lovely graphic that you've created your word. It really stands out. And you can drag images and videos into these as well. Let's go videos. So these, if you hover over them, all move. And I can drag these into my letters as well. So I'm just going to show you that. It's as simple as that. And then if I click play, sorry, that's the previous one I did. It does all the pages. So you now have that video playing within your letters and it just looks lovely and effective. So definitely have a play with the elements in Canva and the letters. So again, this one, for example, you can add a photo into. So you could say person. I'm going to pop a lady into this one. And what you can also do with frames is you can double click on them. And again, like with grids, it gives you the full photo. So you can move it from side to side. You can also enlarge them as well. So you can just have a section of your image in the frame if you wanted to. You could have her head cut off, for example. But you have the choice to do things in these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create a popping out effect. So I've created my frame. I've added an image in. I'm going to lock this so that it doesn't move. Add another image. Now this is where the background remover tool comes in very handy for pro imagery. It's as simple as that. You click your image, click edit image, background remover, and then it will remove the background for you. So you don't need to worry about it. If you're on free, you can use a website called remove.bg and that will do exactly the same. You can upload your image, it will remove the background, then you can upload it into your Canva account. Okay, so what I have done, I've added an image into my frame. Then I have added another image on top. I don't want it to pop into that. That should lock. And then I'm going to add this image on top. So I've aligned it perfectly. What I'm going to do is just crop the bottom so that you now look like you've got a lady popping out of a frame. So it's a very simple thing to do, but this can work really well within your designs. So you add your frame, you add an image, you double click on the image and you expand it so the head comes out of the frame, lock it in place, add the image again, remove the background, and then expand it so it covers your original person. And then just, you can crop images. So I've cropped this one here. So I can have it bigger if I want, or I can just pull it up so it crops off this bottom part of the second image so you don't see that overlay at the bottom. So there you go. There's just a couple of ways to use frames in Canva.